In recent years, the Catalana Water Board, Agencia Catalana del Agua, has been encouraging the analysis of sediment management in its reservoirs and considering proposals in this respect. The project, entitled Analysis and Proposals for Sediment Management in the Reservoirs in Catalan River Basins, is part of this project. The objectives of this project are threefold. The first aim is to assess the sediment discharge reaching the coast and to improve awareness about the effects of sediment retention in the large reservoirs. The second one is to analyse the effects of the flows by conducting pilot tests in order to improve designs. And the final aim is to inform the general public about the findings and results, as well as to propose measures and make recommendations to improve sediment management. The study section selected to monitor the river Llobregat is the water mass downstream from the Baells dam. The study was extended as far as Cal Rosal. Different teams worked along this section of the river, and these were responsible for different flood control and analysis tasks. These teams included the following: the joint venture UTE Labaqua.Serbaikal, which was responsible for coordinating all the monitoring activities; the IRTA Research Institute, which carried out the monitoring work along two sections, in the Fisherman Bridge and at the Cal Rosal Bridge; and the University of Girona, which occupied Olvan Gouging Station. The Baells Dam hydrograph was the one selected. Two tests have been carried out with the same generating flood, one in 2019 and another in 2020, reaching a maximum flow rate of 51 meters cubed per second. The sediment to be injected during the flood was stockpiled about 700 meters downstream of the dam. A time-lapse in the working day was also established at this very point. The monitoring section for the inflow was located at the Fisherman Bridge, and the IRTA carried out the following activities: pre- and post-flood surveying to see how the river section varied, riverbed grain size analysis, physical chemical measurements of water and control over the suspended sediment load during the flood. The following monitoring work was performed by the University of Girona in the Olvan Gouging Station. Sediment traps were installed at different elevations in the watersheet, control over the turbidity of the water column, analysis of the sediment distribution and concentration, and finally, at the Cal Rosa Bridge, where the outflow section was, the IRTA performed the same monitoring activities as at the initial point, so they could analyse the variations in the study parameters throughout this river section. These activities are the first stage in the sediment yield study downstream from the dams in the Catalan River basins and in the analysis of the role played by the discharges in keeping the river in a good state of conservation. The monitoring carried out under La Baells dams, River Llobregat, revealed that the fine sediments injected were transported by the generating flow throughout the entire study section, thereby confirming that this flood was sufficient to move the sands and gravels in the riverbed, allowing them to be regenerated. As a result of the project findings, the generating flow values established in the management plan were left unchanged because they were considered adequate.